Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we're practicing our throat singing on Mongolia as the Viper, playing as the Bengalis in yellow, prepares to take on Mr. Yo, playing as the Byzantines in blue. Now all the players heard their herdables explore their interesting surroundings. We'll get into the map in a second and try to go up to Feudal as fast as possible. Let's take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. The Bengalis, through and through an elephant civilization. All of their elephant units receive less bonus damage, are more resistant to conversion, and can be upgraded to attack 20% faster, which does help them out because they do come with fully upgraded battle elephants, siege elephants, and their elephant archers also benefit from Parthian tactics. Now, in addition, all Bengali melee cavalry do have a small attack boost against skirmishers. In order to support these slow, easily converted units on the field of battle, Bengali monks do come with a nice +3/+3 armor boost, and their unique unit, the Ratha, is one of the most versatile but also the most hated units in the game. This is a chariot unit that can actually switch between ranged and melee attacks. Now, to support their army, every Bengali town center spawns 2 free villagers when the next age is reached. We'll keep an eye out for that whenever the Viper decides to go up to Feudal, and their entire villager and monk population can be upgraded to take up 10% less population space. The way that works is if you research Mahayana, every single one of these villagers, instead of taking up 1 population space, takes up 0.9. So you can then use the extra population room for more villagers, more military, whatever it is your heart desires. Looks like we're going to get a wild boar here for the Viper. On the other hand, we've got the Byzantines, a civilization designed to take a punch to the face. Their structures have more HP, all the way up to 40% more HP in Imperial. Their bombard towers can be upgraded to get splash damage. They get town watch and town patrol for free. So whenever they go up to the next age, they do see their enemies from further away, coming from a mile away. Now, their monks heal their units twice as fast, which is great because the Byzantines can actually slow down enemy advances by spamming so-called trash units for days. Their camel riders, their skirmishers, and their spearman line units all are 25% cheaper, and their unique unit, the Cataphract, is a heavy cavalry unit with a massive attack bonus against infantry that can take a pretty good beating with a good amount of HP and strong base armor. Now, when the Byzantines do finally decide to click up to Imperial, and hopefully we get to see that in this game, they only pay 2/3 of the cost of doing so, which allows them to invest the saved resources and maybe, I don't know, upgrading their Cataphracts by giving them trample damage and an even bigger +6 attack bonus against infantry. Those are the 2 civilizations we have before us today. You might be asking yourself, looking at the minimap, what is going on this map? Apologies to anyone on a smaller screen. I'm going to zoom out and show you we are on Mongolia. Take a look at this. Lots and lots of choke points on this map, as you can see, and lots of elevations, which means bonuses, elevation bonuses do apply and are very important. The Viper already starting to wall off certain portions of the base, but there is lots of wood. Resources, I do believe, unless I'm mistaken, it is the standard Arabia resources. Everyone has a primary gold, primary stone. Mr. Yo's primary gold very far forward, primary stone a little bit off to the side. And I think the only difference is you start with 2 deer patches or ibex patches. So there's number 1, and I believe there's a second one right here. So I believe that is the only difference between Arabia in terms of the animal population. Although, of course, as always, there are wild animals, dangerous animals, in this case, snow leopards. And let's take a look. The Viper. Oh, the Viper doing Viper things as always. Already has trapped Mr. Yo's scout. We'll see how much he can get done with that scout trapped. It is pulling a villager from the production line, which explains why the Viper is still in Dark Age, still producing villagers. Mr. Yo going up to Feudal off the back of only 18. The Viper, realizing that he can't with 1 villager protect 2 fronts, loses on 1. The scout comes out, and now the Viper says, you know what, I can't wall you in immediately, so I'm just going to create a wall off here. Oh, decides to delete it. Oh no, Mr. Yo is here with 4 villagers and a scout. First blood going to our Byzantine. And let's see what Mr. Yo decides to do with these 4 villagers. a barracks being placed. The Viper has no idea what's going on. He doesn't know where the villagers are going to pop out of. They might be going through this path between the woods. It is a very cool map. Not only are there cliffs, as you can see everywhere, take a look at this, but there's also elevation, there's also forests, and like I said, lots and lots of choke points, which, depending on how the Byzantine wants to play this, might be good for the Byzantine and might be bad for the Byzantine. The Viper gets walled out of his own base. Oh my goodness, but he knows about this forest path, but how long will it take him to get there? Oh my goodness. The Viper here. I mean, he's been posting videos of himself playing Alcatraz recently. I think that's the name of the map, right? The Alcatraz. And this is definitely looking like a bit like Alcatraz here, with all these narrow alleys and choke points and enemy units spotted who are trying to kill you. Bit of a huge battle here for a 10-minute mark of the game. What are we working with? 8 Bengali villagers against 4 Byzantine villagers. A spearman does die, so just 1 left, a skirmisher and a scout. And oh no, the Viper is going to discover that this is walled off as well. Oh, that's so sour. And now they have to go the super long way around. Oh, what a journey those 3 militiamen are on. But the Viper, with his villagers managing to do a good amount of damage. Mr. Yo has hit Feudal. The Viper is still in Dark Age. How far away is he? He is not close at all. He's got 200 food. He's producing villagers non-stop. And now these villagers are just going to engage into the army here. Okay. Trying to corral, trying to pen them in. But the militia are here finally. Not too sure how much they'll get done. But this is incredible. The Viper stuck in Dark Age. Mr. Yo and his aggression. So far. Okay, never mind. He wants out. He wants the hell out of here, and the Viper accommodates 8 villagers in the production tab. I suspect once he sees these units removing themselves from his base, this 8 here is going to get canceled. I mean, unless there's some kind of bigger game plan here for the Viper. And there they go. All 8 of them get canceled. 444 food. Just needs 56 more. Now needs 36, 26, and he should be able to click up to Feudal. What an absolute exciting game so far. I mean, one of the viable strategies on this map is to rush your opponent before they can wall themselves in. That being said, you are playing against the Bengalis. And love them or hate them, the Bengalis, I mean, if the Viper decides to go Rada, then the Byzantines are going to be loving it. Because that skirmisher still is supreme. Rules supreme over the Rata. And the Viper here moving forward with 3 villagers and the same 3 militias, 2 kills on them. So lots of kills so far. 14 kill count game. The Viper still in Dark Age. Mr. Yo is still here with army. But anyway, I'm very curious to see which direction the players go. The Bengalis, for all that they are an elephant civilization, you don't really see at the high Elo level ranked ladder games a lot of elephants out of them. Looks like the Viper came and went, overshot the mark here with these militias. What you do see a lot of times is Radas, and what you see is some monk play maybe. And the Byzantines, well, there's plenty of directions the Byzantines can go. And on a map like this with choke points, I do expect to see ranged units, because that just kind of makes sense for a map like this. And here we go at the 15-minute mark of the game. Our Bengali is up to Feudal with 1 more villager than his opponent. But take a look at army supply. He's down 1/3 of the army supply of his enemy, now almost 1/4 only. And let's see what the Viper builds here. These militias poking in, poking out. The villagers are enough to get them the hell out of here. These 3 look like they have axes in their hands now, which tells me they are going to jack lumber somewhere. I'm surprised Mr. Yo is being shooed away, but then I'm looking at the HP on these units, and I'm not surprised anymore. I mean, take a look at the HP. It's basically at half. So a good amount of villagers will be able to repel this advance. This is not a fight the villager wants to take. Looks like 2 villagers died there. 1 a long time ago, and a tower is how the Viper responds. Tower versus skirmisher, never something I guess you want to do, but we'll secure the food for him. And never mind, I thought they were jacking lumber somewhere close. They are returning all the way home, and not before the Snow Leopard gets activated. And there we go. Militia are back. Market is going up. Infrastructure from Mysterio is still here. A barracks and archery range. This army from him is not leaving. 14 army supply to 3. 3 militias. The Viper is literally working with the weakest, most feeble army that he possibly can. Loses another villager, but takes down a skirmisher and a spearman with the town center. How many kills on this town center for now? 3 kills, not bad. Another skirmisher does die. And again, look at the HP on these units. The Viper doesn't want the 2 armies to join. He doesn't want to have to deal with spearmen with these militias. The militia can at least get into the minimum range of these skirmishers. Take a look. They always have minimum range. At least Byzantine ones do. And if the Viper can get into here, there is nothing that these skirmishers can do unless Mysterio decides to disperse them, which he's not doing at all. Not too sure why these gates were deleted. But okay, the Viper has managed to take 14 army supply, turn it into 8, but he himself is down 33% of his army, which are now men-at-arms. So a fantastic hold here out of the Viper, using an incredibly weak army to hold, and now he's going to garrison these 2 skirmishers. Where the hell did they think they were going? One does pay the price, a second does die as well. So Mysterio being a little bit a bit of a spendthrift with his army units here, pathing them through the town center. And again, the villagers should be, not are, enough to get rid of the remainder of this army, because take a look again, look at the HP is down at half of what it was before. Mysterio, for his part, does not look like he's interested in walling off his base at all. This is the play of an aggressive player who wants to put all the pressure on the other side of the map, does not want to have any kind of pressure applied to him. And the Viper, oh my god, he traps the spearman in here with the villager. Is he going to delete this? Deleted or destroyed, doesn't really matter. The spearman dies, and now all of Mysterio's army is gone, dead and buried. Holy moly, the Viper here. But at the cost of what? Our Byzantine is heading up to Castle Age. The Viper, okay, not too far behind. 37 villagers to 37. You know, not a lot of players could have withstood that level of aggression out of Mysterio. I thought for sure he would get a lot of damage done when the Viper had to take his militia all the way around. Then he got blocked over here, and then he had to go around all the way again. But take a look, Mysterio has taken 8 villagers with him, and the Viper 31 kills to 12. And here we go again. Like I said, Mysterio not walling himself off. This is the play of a player who wants to be aggressive, endlessly aggressive. Archers. Are we going to see camels? Remember, the Byzantines, cheaper spearman line units, cheaper skirmisher units, cheaper camel rider units. And the Viper's going to come here. He's going to see absolutely no villagers. What are the upgrades on these guys, if any? I should be I'm not surprised there's no upgrades. And the Viper is 2 minutes behind his opponent going up to Castle Age. Mysterio's got an opportunity here. He's got no villagers on stone. He's not building a second town center. He's getting crossbows for the 3 archers that he has. And the Viper is going to see that immediately, making himself at home with a siege workshop to try to bust in through this house wall. And this is just absolutely incredible. The Viper, by the way, has created a wall off here. So any units that come out of this barracks and this archery range, unless he just deletes this palisade, have to bust their way in to the Viper's base. So he is secure for now. He's got the same villager count as his opponent, but yet again finds himself down in army supply. And now the knights are out, or at least a knight is out. Second town center for Mysterio. Okay, so he's not going full on 100% aggression here. He is building his economy. And like I said, he went up to castle 2 minutes ahead of his opponent. How did he use that time? To get out a battering ram, to get out a knight, and to plop down a huge amount of forward infrastructure. Although I think these guys have been around since Feudal. The Viper's going to get busted in here, but a castle for him and a town center as well. So our Bengali is turtling up. A pretty good strategy on a map like this, with choke points, with wall-offs, with high ground, with a million different ways to screw an aggressive player. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 houses potentially in danger here. And Mr. Yo taking a minute to whack away at a mining camp. Now he's going to come in here. He is going to discover... Oh, sorry. I forgot he's got the outpost with all the vision upgrades for free. I mean, I didn't forget that part. I forgot the fact that he had that outpost there. Okay, now he's walling himself off. Doesn't want any kind of side attacks, flank maneuvers by our Bengali, and finds himself having to take the long road. But again, he's going to, once he reaches, he's going to have to pass through a town center or a tower. The Viper, for his part, he's going Radas. Already has +1 attack in range. Man, are they expensive to upgrade, because remember, melee or ranged mode. So you need both types of upgrades in order to fully maximize this unit. For now, though, chariots are the way to go. It is a very pretty unit. I'll give it that. Viper decides to delete his wall. No longer necessary with a town center here. Mr. Yo in the back with his army moving forward now with elite skirmishers. What are their upgrades? +2 range and attack only. But the Rathas are circling again. I was so excited. I like the path in the snow. I was so excited when the June patch, what are they called? PUPs, PUP came out. The notes. And one of the notes mentioned how the Ratha, I mean, take a look at it in melee mode now. No upgrades whatsoever. So you have to basically upgrade your entire stable with one exception in order to get these guys up and running to their full potential. So that's why I was super excited. There was a note in the PUP for June before the patch actually came out, or the update came out, whatever you want to call it, that basically said the Rathas are going to get buffed to remove some kind of skirmisher bonus or something. The wording was a little confusing, I'm not going to lie. But I was very excited. I think I even mentioned it in a, I think it was Mr. Yo versus Hera, where Hera played Bengalis and also went Radas. And I was just super excited because I think it's just a fantastic unit. But the fact that it's vulnerable, take a look at its armor class, by the way. This is why it's vulnerable. It's got archer class armor, cavalry armor, cavalry archer armor. So literally anything that has a bonus against archers, cavalry, and cavalry archers and unique units gets an attack bonus against this unit. And skirmishers, cavalry archer +2, archer +4. That being said, quantity might beat quality here. 12 Radas in melee mode, 1 in ranged being produced. Okay, maybe the Viper can prove us all wrong about the Ratha. Again, I don't mind the unit. It's just, it's a finicky unit. It takes so much to get it to its full potential, and then it just gets wrecked by skirmishers, which is, you know, absolutely terrible. But to be fair, there are a lot of units that get wrecked by skirmishers, unique units especially. I mean, I wouldn't want to put Kipchaks against these guys. I wouldn't want to put Mangadai against these guys, right? Camel archers against these guys. So it's a fair point to have skirmishers counter. Skirmishers are meant to counter a lot of ranged units with their tough pierce armor and their extra attack bonus against a ranged. But the fact that also spearmen line units get an attack bonus, oh man, it is just, yeah. That is my rant about the Rathas. So for now, I don't know what the hell's going on here. Okay, pathing a little wonkety. Not too sure where these 12, these dozen, the dirty dozen is going. Looks like they're trying to surround these skirmishers, and let's see. And there you go. I mean, the skirmishers unfortunately all fire their javelins at the one Ratha that had like 3 HP. Melee mode. Melee mode comes in, and this is where that minimum range is just so freaking annoying. The Viper wisely peels off these units to do a bit of a loop-de-loop to wrap them around, but here come the camels, which again come with a bonus against cavalry, which means they are also fantastic at taking down Rathas. And it is the Viper here with a very aggressive castle on the high ground. Mr. Yo responds. How is his vision? Look at his vision. He sees everything. This is just absolutely ludicrous amount of vision for our Byzantine. I believe this castle is on higher ground than this one. I'm not too sure. This elevation does look like it might be 2 tiles. This one also does look like 1 tile. We'll try to see if and when that castle for Mr. Yo goes up. So he's taking 5 damage. 5 or 6 damage. He's dealing 10 damage. So it's actually the blue castle that looks like it's on the higher ground. And look at that HP. I mean, at 30%, it's going to have 40% more HP in 1 minute and 40 seconds, thanks to that incredible Byzantine feature. Man, can they take a beating. Not a lot of Rathas left, though. 12 army supply. That being said, Mr. Yo's army supply is pretty damn bad also. And the weird part about this map, unlike Arabia that's nice and open, you have to be comfortable with constricting your base, building a random house here, a random house here, instead of a farm, because the space just doesn't exist unless you want to start expanding outwards, and then you're putting your infrastructure in jeopardy. Rathas are moving to the east, but it's already walled off with a university, a double wall off. Mr. Yo knows he doesn't want any part of this. Let's take a look at the HP of the castle jump up in Imperial in 20 seconds. Again, the Viper behind his opponent, but this time only 1 minute 45. Rathas engage into the university, of course. Why the hell not? 6240 HP, 6720 against the Viper's 48. And we've got pikes on the way. Okay. Is our Bengali planning an elephant transition? Pikes the upgrade that makes elephant units attack 20% faster. Okay. So far, not a single elephant. Let's see if we see stables. Let's see if we see archery ranges. 1 archery range. No stables. So I'm not too sure what pikes is for, unless he canceled it. Uh-oh, we're heading for a clash here. He just dies so quickly. The skirmishers, it's not even funny. I don't know why I'm laughing. Okay, but the Rathas are here in large enough quantity. They've taken a beating, though. Their HP is in half. He needs to get some of those juicy Bengali monks to start healing them. And now Mr. Yo 2 trebs behind his castle. It has 5,000 HP. The Viper also 5,000, but he's actually repairing his castle. And the badly bruised and damaged Rathas from the east show up. Mr. Yo's infrastructure is not being destroyed. Still no melee attack upgrades on these Rathas. What about the ranged ones? Okay, they haven't been produced yet. We'll see when they come out. Both players now in Imperial. Scores very close. Wall off behind us. He knows he's going to lose the market. He does not want to expend any resources. Look at this chunky wall off here. Does not want to expend any resources, but remember, they're range now. Okay, so +2 attack and range, +2, +3, 4 armor. And now he's going Elite Rata. Why the hell did you get pikes if you're going Elite Rata? Goodness gracious. Viper attacking in the east, the Viper poking in the west, the Viper trying to go up the guts in the center, but it's his castle with 1,700 HP. Oh my god, these Byzantine castles are just so redonkulous. 1823 Ratas are being produced. Again, not too sure why they're... Sometimes it does this and it confuses me as to why they're in separate areas. I mean, I know the melee and the ranged Rathas get their own squares, but why are there 2 squares for 2 melee Rathas? Okay, university goes down, but there's a secondary wall off. No, there isn't. No, there isn't. The Rathas are inside. If you guys watched our live stream from 2 nights ago, where the Viper played Bengalis and used his Ratha, snuck in a 4-on-4 castle down, by the way, in a 4-on-4 Rage Forest game, the Viper snuck in 40 Rathas, fully upgraded into the trade route of his opponent, and was just decimating trade carts after trade carts. I mean, the camel heavy now, the better unit, no attack upgrades at all. Doesn't really need them, to be honest, because of this amazing bonus. Look at that, 18 attack against cavalry. But the Viper was just decimating his opponent's trade route with these Rathas, and it was so much fun to watch. Here we go, elephants. This must be for elephants, but he needs, I mean, he's got 42 villagers on gold. Holy moly, the Viper wants that gold count. Okay, Rathas are putting in the work, but there's literally 2 counter units that they're fighting against. And by the way, skirmishers on the high ground, but there's a good amount of Rathas here. They are dying. Holy shit, look how quickly they're dying. Oh, this is so unfortunate. This is just so unfortunate. Oh my goodness. I thought we were going to see elephants. Were we going to see elephants the second before? No. Oh, that's so sour. What the hell happened? I mean, we know what happened. It's the Ratha, the curse of the Ratha. Let's see what the hell actually happened, though. So Elite Ratha, no attack. Look at that armor. That's just bongo. So 6 melee, 7 pierce. No attack upgrade for the melee mode. The ranged mode, I think we saw, was +3 and full armor complement. So we've got 27 Rathas against 36 elite skirmishers, fully upgraded. Camels are moving in. Again, I don't know that a +1 attack is really necessary. It's really the bonus damage that you care about, and bonuses applied after armor. So that maybe it would have been better spent. Actually, no, he's already fully upgraded the armor, so never mind. We've got 36 elite skirmishers, 7 camels. I mean, the Rathas are already outnumbered. One of them dies before even reaching the battlefield. They clusterfuck a little bit here in front of the skirmishers, pardon my French. And now they spread out. At the same time, these guys are firing, trying to stymie the castle, or the villagers producing the castle. The Vipers, I mean, the Viper's doing whatever the Viper can here to create as wide a berth as possible. You don't want your units stuck behind each other, but every shot from these skirmishers is just destroying a Ratha. And now, seconds into the battle, he's got 10 left. A third of his Rathas left. Decides, you know what, forget the castle. If I lose this battle, I'm losing the game. So these 6 Rathas in ranged mode are now going to move in and join the fight. He's producing more Rathas. Remember, every camel, every elite skirmisher comes at a 25% discount. And I mean, look at the battlefield. 2 skirmishers, maybe a few more. But my goodness, what an absolute Ratha bloodbath. And the skirmishers just continue their destruction. I mean, look at these fiery javelins, just absolutely every time they land, taking out a Ratha. Would have loved to see what these 3 stables were for. I'm hoping elephants were the order of the day, but I mean, the Viper was so behind from the beginning, having been pushed into Dark Age for double-digit minutes. That was just ridiculous. He didn't even have the time to get rid of this infrastructure behind enemy lines. Look at Mr. Yo's vision. This is just crazy. Even without the outpost that went down here, this is just absolute crazy amounts of vision that the Viper just did not have the time or the luxury to deny. And he goes full on balls to the wall Ratha, upgrades them quite well. I don't think perfectly, but quite well for such an expensive unit. Even goes up to the elite version. 135 HP is not bad. Maybe you buff them by giving them more HP. Maybe you just remove all these various armor classes. I don't know what the answer is. I'm not going to conjecture. We'll see what the developers decide to do. For some reason, they didn't include the Ratha change in the June update, and the Viper has walled himself in quite well. But Mr. Yo has walled himself even more and is here. Army supply, 49 to 10 villager count. our Bengali is ahead. So maybe the Viper went a little bit too eco, just a little bit too much. In any event, I think it's more the Rathas than the eco, to be honest. Holy moly, Hera level micro APM right at the end of the game. Mr. Yo peaking early on and then not really catching up to the Viper in terms of APM. It looks like our Byzantine also got 3 relics, is ahead in trash resources, which is not surprising why he has 40 freaking elite skirmishers. But look at gold, look at stone. And did he complete the pikes? Let's take a look. Oh man, I absolutely do not like this. I find it so hard. I don't know why. Maybe some visual spatial thing. So he hits castle here. He starts getting ranged upgrades. I think he must have canceled it, it looks like. There's ballistics. He must have canceled that pikes. Okay, so maybe this wasn't for elephants. I mean, I don't know what could it possibly be? There's no hussars. But in any event, we'll never know. The big mystery remains. What the hell were these stables for? I mean, my vote is still elephants. But wow. Holy moly, did the Rathas fall short? And did the Byzantine trash come in clutch? Mr. Yo with that early aggression. I mean, Alcatrazing the Viper. The Viper's been practicing Alcatraz for about a week or 2 weeks now. And to be honest, it shows. His walling off is just fantastic. But Mr. Yo with this annoying wall here and the annoying 2 palisades there managed to keep him out, did as much maximum damage as possible. And take a look, at the end of the day, it's actually our Bengali who has more kills. But with the loss of his entire army and only 900 gold, 1,000 food, and sub 500 wood, there's really not much that he can do to rebuild this army, especially now that his entire forward base is completely exposed. I mean, he's got a Treb here. This forest is open, so anything can run in here to snipe the Treb, and there's a castle in the forward position. And as much as I think it would have been cool if the game lasted maybe a few more minutes to see what came out of these stables, ultimately it is Mr. Yo who sees that the Viper committed to Rathas, builds the ultimate counter army, camels, skirmishers, destroys the Bengali army in a full frontal, full face engage. Even more reinforcing camels coming in from the north, and army supply takes a 5-1 lead in army supply and gets the W. But GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.